Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Stephanie. Welcome back, you regular watchers, and hey to anyone new, thank you for taking the time to watch our video. Today I'm going to be doing a first impression and full face of makeup using Poundworld makeup. So to create this look I have used only Poundworld products apart from a primer. So everything is from Poundworld to create this look, which if you don't know what Poundworld is, it's like a pound shop, or actually it is a pound shop. So everything in the shop is a pound. If you come from other countries, I imagine that you might have the equivalent of a Poundworld, where everything is say $1 or one sort of a low-cost store. So I hope you find this video interesting, and do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you like it, and I'll get started with the tutorial. So to begin this Poundworld makeup look and first impressions, in Poundworld I couldn't see any primers, so I did go in with Miss Sporty Insta Glow primer, which is only a couple of pounds from Superdrug, as I couldn't get a primer in Poundworld. So on to Poundworld products. So the brand is called Miss Beauty London, and this is their foundation. It's Flawless Matte Foundation, easy wear, lightweight foundation with vitamin E, and I decided to go with shade 2. Let's see how this goes. It's a little bit scary trying Poundworld products on your face, because I was like, is it going to be really bad or is it going to be okay? So I'm hoping that maybe some products will be okay. So I'm just going to put some of the product on my hand. And looking at this shade, the shade 2 is a better match. I thought shade 2 would probably be better than shade 4, considering they only had like 5 shades. But I thought if I got a couple, then at least if this was too light, I could mix it with a darker shade. But I think that shade looks pretty good. So I'm just going to go in with shade 2. It is quite runny, feels quite thin consistency. So definitely when you're squeezing it out, because it's like a little squeezy, so there's no like pump. It does come out very, very quickly from the little tube, so I feel like you need to be careful or you could get it on your carpet. But yeah, there was only 5 shades as well to pick from, so that wasn't like super lots of shades. So I'm just going to go in with my Morphe M439 foundation blending brush, and I'm going to blend this out. It's sort of, yeah, that's quite a lightweight coverage. It's quite white on camera on my skin, but in real life it's looking probably not as white, a little bit more yellowy. But yeah, for £1, that is not too bad. I will just quickly show you guys the other shade, just in case. I'm just shaking, it's like really liquidy. So just do be careful when you're opening the package. I will show you the shade number 4 so that I can see what that looks like, and also in case you guys have darker skin than myself, shade 4 might be better for you. So I'll show you shade 4. Shade 4 is a little bit more, yeah, it's definitely more tanned, and it's more of a neutral undertone. It's a little bit more beigey than number 2 was a little bit more yellowy. That's definitely more reddy or neutral undertone. So guys, on to concealer. I went for, again, the Miss Beauty London is the brand in the Poundworld, and it's liquid concealer, and I went for shade light. So again, this was £1, and it's got a little stick applicator. I think they did have, just going to draw this under, they had a few different shades of concealer, so but I just went for the lightest one because I do like a light highlighter under eye. And also I do have fair skin. So that is very light, but I feel like when we blend it out it should be okay. Because that, what I'm worried about now is actually the foundation dried very, very quickly. So I'm concerned that the concealer might dry as quick as the foundation. So I think I might need to be quite quick to get into blending, or this could end up being really not good to blend out. So I'll just quickly do under eyes instead of doing where I would normally highlight, and then I'll come back and highlight down my nose and forehead and other areas, so that this doesn't dry too quickly like the foundation did. So that's blended out quite easy. Actually, that feels like it doesn't dry as quick as the foundation did, because that foundation, that was drying excessively quick. That concealer blended out very, very quickly and actually easy. So I'm going to go in and use that down the centre of the nose to highlight a little bit on the chin and a little bit through the eyebrows. And I think I'm going to, just because it was quite lightweight concealer, I'm just going to go and put a little bit more right in that inner corner area, which is my problem area for dark circles. It's only £1, so I wasn't really expecting like a super full coverage concealer. For powders and setting powders, again, I couldn't find any translucent powder, but I did find this powder, which is Miss Beauty Smooth Fine Press Powder with Silk Finish, blended with vitamin E, sunscreen for shine control. And I went for number 14, Autumn Beige. It looks like this, and it is just like a powder, like basically a face powder. I'm going to go in with my my Sephora 91 powder brush, and I'm going to just basically set my whole face with this because they didn't have any translucent powder for setting under eyes separate. So again, first impression, and this was only £1. They did have other shades, so if you had darker skin, you could, I think they had like 3 or 4 shades maybe. This smells like really powdery, you know, that's that sort of powdery smell, like kind of old-fashioned powder. So for bronzer, Miss Beauty London had the bronzer, and they had 2 shades, and I went for shade Miami Glow. So this was like the lighter bronzer shade. They had one that was darker, and I went for the lighter shade because I'm a bit paler. And both, I think, were matte powders, bronzing powders, which is good. I'm just going on my Morphe E2 brush, and I'm going to just warm up the cheeks. I'm glad that they were matte bronzers, because then it's like you can sort of do a bit of contouring and bronze up, and since we're not in the summer, I quite like to use matte bronzers. So we're just bringing this on the forehead to bring a bit of soft contour on the jawline and along the cheeks to warm that up. So guys, that bronzer actually had quite a lot of pigment, but like not too pigmented, because you don't want to be like boom, orange face. But yeah, I'm actually quite impressed with that. It's just warmed up the cheeks and face nicely. And I did find a blusher in the Miss Beauty London, and they had, I think, 3 shades of the blusher, and I went for shade number 2, Bonbon, which is like this little pinky blush, and thought it was quite nice because the other ones were a little bit stronger and I didn't really think they would sit my skin. So I'm going on a Morphe E4 brush, and we're going to pop this on the cheeks to give it a little bit of healthy glow. So there's quite a nice shade actually from me. It's giving me a little pink, sort of rosy cheeks, but not like too vibrant. So yeah, for £1, I think that's quite nice actually, that little blusher. Okay, so for highlight, I couldn't, oh, they did have a highlight. It was like a liquid highlight on a little stick, so it basically looked like that concealer, looked like this, but it had highlight liquid in it, and they had, I think, like it was like a pinky colour. I didn't really like it, and I also don't like liquid highlights that much, so I went for this eyeshadow from Miss Beauty London from Poundworld, and shade number 4, Unicorn. It's like a, let me just get that open, it's like a whitey shade, so I thought this could act nicely as a highlight. I'm going to take that on a tapered Sigma F35 brush. We're just going to pop this on, because I'm much more of a powder highlight girl. I'm going to pop that on the high points of the cheek. Hopefully this works out. Okay, it's like quite a subtle highlight, but it is giving a little bit of a sheen, like a soft little highlight look. So that eyeshadow worked actually quite well for a highlighter. On to eyebrows now. They had an eyebrow pencil and also a coloured brow gel. I decided to go for the brow gel, and it's again £1, and I went for shade Blonde, and I just thought actually a brow gel would be quite nice, and it kind of thought, oh, I haven't got lots of brow gels. I've only got like clear brow gels, or I got my Benefit brow gels. So I thought it'd be nice to try out some more brow gels that also have colour. So guys, that is the eyebrows done. They give a very soft, sort of natural, a little bit more defined, a little bit bushier. I actually am impressed with that for £1. It's filled in the eyebrows in a nice soft way, and I very like that actually. Very impressed. For eyes now, I'm going to go in with the bronzer, and I'm going to use that as a transition colour. I'm going to go in with the blending Sigma F40 brush. They didn't have like lots of shades to pick from for eyeshadows in the Poundworld near where I live, so sort of I'm improvising here, but I often do use a bronzer anyway for a transition colour. And I will now go on to one of their eyeshadows. I went for shade number 5, Adventure. Thought this was a nice little sort of beigey, shimmery, show you it, like a, basically like a nice light beige. I'm just going to put that on with my fingers onto the eyelid. It looks kind of like semi-satiny matte, so it's not fully matte, but it's not too shimmery. It's just got like a nice sort of satin feel to it, and actually quite pigmented for £1. And then I will use that bronzer again with an E18 from Morphe pencil brush. I'm going to put that along the lower lash line just to give a little bit of a soft focus, soft smoky eye look. And then guys, I'm going to go in with that light eyeshadow Unicorn, that sort of whitey light, and I'm going to pop that on the inner corner, and I'm using a Sephora 15 shadow brush, and we're going to use this as the inner corner highlight and a brow bone highlight. So guys, I also picked up Miss Beauty London fine liner in shade black. Again, first time trying this, so just shaking it up. And let's see what the little nib looks like. So that's what the nib looks like. So I'm just going to go in and do a little thin black liner on the top lash line. So guys, this is the eyeliner done. I just done a little wing liner. It's very black, which is good. It's also a matte. It's a little bit like streaky, as in like it's not super streaky, but you have to go over some areas with another coat because it has a little bit of transparency with just one layer. But for £1, really not that bad. And the nib is very neat, which I like because it helps you to do a precise, nice wing. So for mascaras, they had 2 mascaras. I went for the Miss Beauty London Lengthening Mascara in shade black. Looks like this. The only thing I would also say about the Poundworld is they don't have like, oh wow, okay, that's an interesting applicator, but they don't have like testers for you to test out, so you sort of are more guessing. But as things are only £1, it's like, well, if it doesn't work out, it was only £1, you didn't waste lots of money. So I'm going to pop this on. This is a really interesting shape, but I think actually maybe it'll be okay. It's like quite unusual. I've never had a mascara that has this like 3 little tiny balls basically as the applicator. So we will see how this works out. It's basically giving like a very natural lash. It's not really giving volume, it's more just sort of subtly making my lashes be black, but not with that much volume and not that much length. So for lips, they did have lip glosses and lipsticks, so I decided to go for a lipstick. Again, this was £1 and it's shade Peach 363. So let's pop this on the lips and see how it looks. I like sort of nudie lip shade, so I thought I'd stick with something pale, because they did have actually quite some like vibrant colours as well, which was quite cool. So it's like actually kind of a bit metallic-y. The coverage is quite patchy, actually very patchy. This is very patchy lip colour. Okay, so that lipstick feels quite like, you know, child makeup feel, and also smell. It reminds me of like kiddies makeup when I was younger. Not super impressed with that lipstick. So guys, that is the finished makeup look using all Poundworld makeup. It was actually really interesting to try out their makeup for the first time and give things a go that's only £1. And if you are on a budget, I do really recommend some of these products. I think for £1, this foundation, especially if you've got oily skin, really worth it. It's only £1. And actually the concealer, it wasn't too bad as well for £1. The bronzer and powder, actually quite like these. Both were also good for £1. And the blushes and eyeshadows, really like those for £1. The item that was sort of quite okay too was the brow gel. That was quite average. The things that were sort of misses for me from this was definitely the lipstick. It was very patchy and also just feeling not nice on your lips. And also this mascara, it was like, I find the shape of the applicator quite difficult to use, and also it was just like, it's not really lengthening, it's not really volumizing, it's sort of just making my lashes black. The eyeliner was sort of average again, like ish, sort of okay, but for £1, again, for £1 I kind of think actually it's sort of worth it. Yeah, I hope you liked this video, and if you did like it, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if you've tried any Poundworld products, do let me know. Also, if you do go out and try any of them, let me know how you find them. I always love to hear from you guys. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!